Good morning, guys. So it's been a few days since I got back from Sync Up, and I've had a couple of days and luckily some sleep to sort of process what just happened. That was really just mind blowing, and I shared some of my initial thoughts and feelings and reflections in my video a couple days ago. But now I've had some time to sort of process what went on there. And there was a comment, actually, I think it was in Sync Academy. Somebody said that, if you were there in person, you felt this electricity in the room. And I think that's the perfect way to describe it. There was something different about that event. That wasn't just another sync licensing or music industry event. I think most of it, probably two reasons. One is we have kind of created this amazing community for many, many years. And to have all that hype to just finally be all in the same room at once, there's a lot of energy getting released into the room. So I think we all probably felt that. And it's a really, really good type of energy too. Not overwhelming at all, just really exciting. And secondly, it was a pretty small, intimate event. So it didn't feel like we were lost in a sea of tons and tons of people and feeling overwhelmed with any of that kind of stuff. So it kind of felt like a little, like a hang, basically. It was just like a fun weekend hangout. So I think those two elements basically brought it to this really amazing level. So I want to basically share with you guys today the 5 things that I personally learned from this event. Yes, I learned a lot of really interesting things about sync licensing and also just about us as a community as a result of this event. So I'm going to go through my top 5. I learned a lot more than these 5, but these are sort of the main points that I think that I took away from this event. And when I'm done, I want to invite all of you to, if you attended in person or virtually, post your comment below about what you learned from this event. What was your big takeaway? I really actually want to know what value you got from this, okay? Number 1, first thing I learned, many library owners are open to 2 or 3 track submissions, meaning I've been telling you guys, get a full album, get a full album, get a full album, really stand out from the competition. But a lot of the library owners we had in attendance said, send me your top 3 tracks. Send me, a couple of tracks you think are really good. If I like them, I'll ask for more. So I have to kind of maybe not be so pushing you guys in terms of the full album sort of advice I've been giving you. I do think that you haven't been served inappropriately by me giving you that advice. If anything, you've been actually more prepared so that if somebody does like your music, you've got a lot more to deliver them. So I don't regret giving you guys that advice, but I think I'm going to change that sort of like harping on that have a full album, especially since we did talk a lot about AI during the conference in terms of how it's going to creep into our industry and what we need to do to sort of insulate ourselves, AI proof ourselves from that kind of music that's going to come out here. So I do think that maybe focusing so much on quantity is not really the move we want to make anymore. We really want to think more about quality. And so we really want to have probably just a couple of really, really high quality, solid tracks to really get the attention of some library owners. And of course, if they like it, they're going to reach out and ask for more. So if you've got more, you're in a much better position just to get things rolling faster. But if they love if they love what they're hearing, they'll work with you. And this is something that was kind of a surprise to me because I guess my impression over the last few years was that there were so many producers and composers coming in that people just coming in with 1 or 2 or 3 tracks were not really being considered next to and compared to somebody that's coming to them with like a full completed album. So I had to kind of think about changing some of my advice. So I'm definitely going to be doing that. That's something I learned at this event. Number 2, speaking of library owners, they are all very unique in terms of what they want, what their philosophies are, how they want to brand themselves in terms of what they want their reputation to be. And it was really cool to just see them all up there in the front of the room. For those of you guys that were watching, you saw that from, Troy to Mike to Perry to Trevor, 4 very different guys, very different individuals, very different philosophies on what they were trying to do. Also very different marketplaces that they were really trying to serve. And I was hoping you guys got a sense for that. I certainly got a sense for that, but I didn't have a full appreciation until they were all in the same room, answering one question individually, back to back. And you kind of got to realize, wow, okay, so you can't, and this is why I've always told you guys, do not just send your tracks out to all these library CEOs simultaneously without doing your research and kind of knowing who they are, who they serve, what their philosophy is, who they're about. Like, this is a human being you're sending your music to. It's not just a company, an LLC, a blank corporation. These are real people that really care about their companies and care about the composers that they work with. So just knowing that they're very, very unique and individual people gave me a full appreciation for why they are very selective about who they work with, who they take music from, because they want to make sure you are the right fit for them. You're not just one out of 10,000 people that uploaded a track to their site, right? Number three, I learned, thanks to Trevor and Mike, there are AI use cases right now that are available today. You can literally go online and use them that can immediately super boost your productivity and your chances of getting major TV and film placements. I was not aware of them until they were brought to the Sync Up event with Trevor's presentation. Now, we might share some of those here on YouTube. We are certainly going to share them in Sync Academy, but I am going to allow those of you that attended Sync Up to sort of have that early advantage because you guys did come and you guys did watch the event virtually. So you guys know what some of those techniques are that Trevor shared that are mind-blowingly powerful, that are going to save you hours and hours and hours of time to do your research and find people that you want to send your music to. So I'm really, really excited about that. And we talked about AI in the sense of I am now really more excited about it because I see it as a tool to empower us to create more direct human connections. Okay. I know that was the big fear for a lot of us was AI going to replace our human connections or replace ourselves in a way? I'm now seeing AI it depends on how you want to use it. We actually have options for how we want to use it. But I think if you can use it with this intention of, I'm going to use this in order to get better connected to the people that I really want to make meaningful relationships with, it's like makes me want to like basically never sleep again. I just want to get my hands on more and more of these tools and start to reach out to those kind of people. Okay. Number four, this is a really, really cool thing that I just realized about us as a community, those of you guys that showed up in person. There was very little ego in the room. There wasn't that kind of Hollywood chip on your shoulder. I'm too cool. I'm an artist. There was like almost none of that. We got to have a little of it. We're all musicians. I've got a little of it, right? So there's always going to be a tiny amount of it. But boy, people were just chill, really cool. All the library owners were really laid back, really professional and approachable and just down to earth. I think you guys all got a sense there, right? We're all just kind of regular people. We don't have these big inflated heads thinking that we are God's gift to man. You know, and I think I realized as I experienced that, this is one of the main reasons why I got pulled into sync licensing, probably like energetically, because the vibe of, you know, the record industry and artists and working with studios, you guys know the egos are through the roof. And it's really an intense situation to be a part of. And I'm not really that type that wants to have a big ego in a room to be really loud and get all the attention, all that kind of stuff. So I always felt a little out of place in that world. And then when the sync licensing world got introduced to me and I saw people like Trevor, Troy, Perry, Mike, and they were just regular dudes, and they were just like, yeah, we just want you to work. Can we just get the work done? I was like, this is such an amazing gift. People just want the work. They just want the music. They don't care about the ego and the status and the who do you know, and let me name drop. So it was so cool. I made a joke, actually. You know, we came back from lunch the second day, and we came back right at 2. I said, come back at 2. We're going to get started on our next presentation. And literally like 1:59, I'm looking at my clock, and every single seat is filled. Everybody was back in their seats at 1:59. I was like, you guys are a room full of musicians and producers and you're all back on time. Like, what the hell is wrong with all you guys? It was just it's a blessing. It's beautiful. And I think that's a testament to all of you guys that you have professional mindsets, right? Being on time, respecting other people's time, respecting, the community. That is a testament to you, to what you have accomplished in terms of sort of turning down that ego knob and turning up the professional and service mindset knob. So that was just an amazing thing. I loved that about us. We've got that really cool vibe going on. And then last but not least, this is certainly kind of a much bigger thing that I realized. And I didn't realize it until actually I was driving home Sunday night. You know, if you turn on social media right now or the news, definitely the news, you'll get a sense that our world is coming apart at the seams. At least the United States is coming apart at the seams, right? We're probably on the verge of having race riots, and there's like rampant homophobia everywhere, and people are just wanting to kill each other, and it's just everything's going to hell right now. If you are on your phone most of the day watching those news stories, following, Twitter and social media, that's kind of the sense you get. And that's kind of the sense that I was getting, because especially since COVID, I was spending a lot more time in that social media sort of news world, doing my best to try to pull out of it. But man, that stuff is really powerful. But we get into the room and we're having this really cool event, and I'm meeting all of you guys, and you're sharing with me your stories. We're shaking hands. You're letting me know about, how you found me and where you were before sync licensing and where you are now. And as I was driving home, I just realized, I was like, we had probably not every, but we had a lot of different ethnic backgrounds in the room, almost probably every race. We had multiple age representations. We had really young people, we had older people, we had men and some women. You know, we were definitely more dominated with the men, but we had some ladies join us, and that was really, really cool. And we had people from just all walks of life, all different types of styles and hairstyles and clothing styles and fashion, and music genres and just everything. It was just literally like, I didn't even like notice that until I was driving home. And I thought, you know, how is it that we can all get in a room? You know, the world is telling us that things are falling apart at the seams and we don't like each other and we're just all pissed off. And then you get in a room like that with so much love, so much like openness, so much just brotherhood and sisterhood, and just like just an amazing just amount of positive energy coming through that room. You realize that the internet and everything going on our screens is not reality. That's just not reality. It's just a filtered form of it that's definitely being geared towards getting clicks and getting us upset at each other and getting our, not even so much upset at each other, but just getting us engaged emotionally on some way or another. So I just saw that as a really awesome, encouraging sign that our world is not falling apart. Okay. There's obviously challenges. There's obviously things we're going to need to do. But if you are in that room, I wonder if you guys noticed that as well. I'd love to hear actually a comment from any of you guys that noticed that, like, we were just musicians. We're just producers, right? And I think that's definitely music. Music is our shared culture. You do need to have some sort of a shared culture that kind of weaves through all these different people and backgrounds and ages and genders and races. Like, you do have to have something that kind of binds everybody together. Because we had people from, I think Michael from Honduras showed up. We had people from Canada show up. So we were at an international event. But you need something that kind of ties everybody together. And obviously music is that. And that's what's, even aside from music just being a beautiful art form for us to enjoy and just be enriched by, the fact that it, you know, enables human connection and human relationships across boundaries like that usually would be more difficult to cross, is why music is like in my blood. And I think in all of your guys, it's not just about the music, it's about the culture that music kind of can provide for us. So, you know, my heart just felt so warm at the end of that event. And a few people in Sync Academy were thinking the same thing. I know Travis, you had said the same thing. You said like that was the exact phrase that you were thinking as you were flying home, that your heart just felt so warm being at that event and just connecting with everybody. And that's definitely how I still feel right now. And, you know, I hope this buzz and this feeling just lives on for a long, long time. I've also learned a lot about what I'm going to do with my business moving forward with Sync My Music. And I'm not really ready to make choices on that yet, but I will be making more videos about some changes I'll be making because I want to get more, you know, the big theme I took away from this for myself was I don't want to go broader in terms of like, I want to just keep chasing, you know, whatever, more subscribers here on YouTube or getting the word out more about sync licensing. I don't think I want to do that so much anymore. I think I was doing that a little bit more in the last year or so, kind of really more branching out and spreading the message out. I think my focus moving forward is going to be more, I want to go deeper with all of you guys that are already here, okay? So I don't want to think of more in terms of just bigger numbers, larger audiences, all that kind of stuff. I actually just want to get more engaged with all of you guys. I want to go into deeper topics. I want to bring more guests to the channel. I want to go, just deeper into some of the interesting places that we really want to get curious about and explore and become better musicians and just human beings in general. So I'm not sure exactly all the big changes we're going to be making, but it definitely sort of reoriented me into what we're really doing here. And what we're doing here is not a YouTube channel, and it's not tutorials, and it's not even just commenting back and forth or doing Zoom sessions or anything like that. It is about you guys connecting with me, you guys connecting with each other, you guys connecting with Music Library CEOs. Human connection is really actually what this channel and my entire business has been about from day one. I just kind of finally realized that. So that's definitely going to inform where I go with some of my stuff moving forward. So now it's your turn. Comment below if you were there, if you were attended virtually. I'd love to know what you thought. What did you learn? Obviously, please don't share all the specifics of some of those AI tools and techniques that Trevor and Mike shared with us. I would appreciate those of you that were only at the event to put that out there. I'm considering releasing the videos at a later date, maybe for somebody who wants to purchase it and watch it. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not, but we'll see. That's something I can't really promise right now, but I definitely want to hear your guys' comments about what you thought about Sync Up. And yes, we're going to be doing it next year. Very likely we're going to be doing it at the same place, same location in Los Angeles. That can't be confirmed as of this date, but it was such a success that it needs to be at least an annual event. And maybe more often. I'm going to be talking with Mike, Trevor, Perry, and Troy, and maybe AJ as well, in terms of how to have more events throughout the year, maybe more in-person events out the year, maybe not to that extent where it's a larger event like Sync Up, even though it was only 50 people in the room, but a really smaller, intimate thing where we kind of go to maybe like a studio session, or we go to a library headquarter, do some really interesting things like that to put you guys in the room with these human beings and really put your hands on the wheel to see really what's going on in our industry. I think that's really where I want to go for the foreseeable future. So put your comments below, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think.